myself before I begin. I've been in Taiwan for 6 years, and I love Taiwan. I think Taiwan's wonderful. Matter of fact, I think I'm more Taiwanese now than I'm American. But I'm from Arkansas, Arkansas. 我的中文是不好，所以我说英文好不好？ So I'll just speak English instead of Chinese. I am married. My wife is from Pingdong. She's Kajawa, Hakanese. Kajawa. And I have a son. He is almost 5 years old. This month is his birthday. And my wife is expecting our second child, and it's going to be a daughter. So we're very happy about that. I am a teacher at Pingrong High School, and I also teach at a couple of bushibans as well. I'm happy to be here tonight to see you, and you see me. Tonight we're talking about table manners, conversation about American etiquette, eating, dining. In many ways, Taiwan and America are not so different when it comes to the dining setting, when it comes to conversation. Because in Taiwan, I have noticed in 6 years, eating is very important to Taiwanese. Okay, interesting sound. In Taiwan, when you eat, you do a lot of your conversation, right? You joke, you do business, you get together, you love to get together to eat in Taiwan. In America, the dining or the eating is probably the most important part of the day. It is because you get together with your family or your friends and you talk about the day that you've had. Now there's some etiquette that we have when it comes to eating and hosting or being a guest of someone. Very quickly, let me just run down a few before we get to some other topics. One of the things that you and me now as a Taiwanese that we do is we like to be late for everything, right? If we start at 6 o'clock, you'll come at 6:15, right? Right, I'm used to this. In America, that's not the way it is. Now, it depends on where the setting is. If you're going to eat in a restaurant, it is customary in America to be early. If we are to meet at 7 o'clock in a restaurant, you should be there about 6:50, 6:55. However, if you come to my home and we say 7 o'clock, you should not come before 7 o'clock. You should be there about 7:05. So, when you eat outside, you should be early. When you eat in someone's home, you should be a little bit late. Understand that? Okay, that's customary. That's the way we are in America. But Americans love to be on time. To us, time is everything. You ever heard that saying, time is money? That's the way it is in America. And so that's what we do. But eating is so important to us because of the daily conversation that we have. But there's 3 types of conversation you should never have with an American. Okay? 3 conversations we do not talk about at the dinner table. Number 1, politics. We don't talk politics. 2, religion. And 3, money. These 3 kinds of conversation is very rude to Americans. When I first come to Taiwan, I had to get used to this because one of the very first questions people ask me is, excuse me, teacher, how much money do you make? Right? That is a very normal question in Taiwan. Or I've noticed in Taiwan, you're very passionate about your politics. Whether it's Kuomintang, Michigan, Jimmy-dan, whatever it is. You're very outspoken, opinionated. And in America, we are the same way with Republicans and the Democrats. But we don't do it while we're eating. Eating is the solitude part of the day. It is the time that we put everything away and we're with our family and our friends, so we don't want to talk about that. And then, of course, religion. In Taiwan, it's, you don't talk about religion that much anyway, so it's not a problem for you. But in America, religion is very diverse in America, so it could create a problem. So when you're at the dinner table, please remember, don't talk about those three things with an American. Because if you do, they're going to think, So this is some things for you. I think one of the things we have to understand is that normal eating is different than an occasion eating. Example, holidays. One of the things me and the teacher were talking about earlier was how in America certain occasions have different types of conversations. Example, Christmas is a very important holiday in America. Very important. Now, I don't know what you constitute a big family. To you, what's a big family? Does anybody have 4 brothers or sisters? Anybody? No one has 4 brothers or sisters? 5, 6, no? 3? 3 brothers or sisters? Who said yes? You have 2 brothers. 3 brothers. Are you the youngest or the oldest? Or middle? Oh my goodness. Well, I have a small family. I have 7 brothers and 6 sisters. Okay, it's not small, okay? 7 brothers and 6 sisters, and I too am the youngest. My eldest sibling is my sister, who's 58 years old. I am 33. So there's a 25-year gap between me and my oldest sister. There's 14 kids. Now some of you are like, oh my gosh. Now can you imagine 14 kids, mom and daddy, then the kids who have kids, the grandkids, are there, and the great-grandkids are there. Give you an example. My mom has 36 grandkids, 35 great-grandkids, and 8 great-great-grandkids. You understand? Tingnan dong, ma. Tingnan dong? Huh? Got it? Okay. 36 grandkids. 35 great-great-grandkids. No, yeah, great-grandkids. And then 8 great-great-grandkids. Imagine Christmas. Christmas is the holiday in which the whole family comes together. It was very normal in my family, when I was your age, to have 60 to 70 people at my home for one meal. 60 to 70 people for one meal. Imagine all the food that was there. We would have, no kidding, we would have, let's say this wall here will be nothing but dessert, cakes, pies, pudding, but just this wall. If you want to look at the food, you have to put this wall and this wall together. And that would be, we would have to have 2 turkeys, 3 hams, you name it, 70 people. And one thing we always did before Christmas, the meal, is that we would often say a prayer. Now, my family is not a very religious family. I'm a Muslim myself, but my family is not very religious. But in America, during Christmas time, we think about what Christmas means to us. And the same thing goes with Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving and Christmas are probably 2 of the biggest holidays in America. The 3rd one will be in the 4th of July. But during Thanksgiving, it's a very interesting time because we would go around the table and we would say what we're thankful for that year. Something that happened to us that is good, that we learned, so forth. So it was a very important meal because it's the time that we share something about ourselves to our family. So it was quite interesting. Prayer, thanking each other, love one another. It was a very intimate time of a meal. In some ways, etiquette, table manners, doesn't really matter that much in that type of setting, because you got 70 people. But there was still some things that we did not do. For example, one thing that we did not do when there were 70 people there is we didn't shout to each other or reach across each other's plates, or, in Taiwan, I love how you do it in Taiwan. In Taiwan, you have 3 or 4 dishes in the middle, and then whatever you want, you grab, get it, In America, no way. You don't do that. My mother, let me tell you how bad I am. I went back home last year, and me and my mom were eating at a restaurant, a Chinese restaurant. And I looked at the waitress and I said, "Why you quiet?" She goes, "Huh?" I said, "Oh, why you quiet?" She goes, "I don't understand." "Ni people don't jump right now." "What? You don't speak Chinese?" She said, "Oh no, I'm from Vietnam." From a different country. And so it was fun. I said, "I would like some chopsticks." So I get the chopsticks, and I do like what most Taiwanese people do. Right? You take the bowl, you take the chopsticks, and you go. Right? That's what I did. I did not notice, but my mom did. Everyone stopped eating and started looking at me. I didn't realize it, I had my elbows on the table like this, like you got to do in Taiwan, right? Shoving the food in. My mom says, "Oh my God, I am so embarrassed to be with you." And then it dawned on me, we have a lot of different culture. In America, it's so strict. It's not so informal. In America, you sit, your hands on your lap, elbows don't touch the table, use your napkin, the salad forks on this side, and glasses at 11 o'clock over here. It's so formal that sometimes when an international comes to America, they don't know what to do. So let me give you some tips. Number 1, if you don't know what to do not be afraid to ask. Okay? Don't be afraid to ask. Because your culture is different. If you don't know, how will you know if you don't ask? Ask questions of someone. You can buy a book, whatever, to teach you some of the etiquette. Number 2, always remember, an informal setting is different than a formal setting. If you're in a group watching a football game in America, because we love American football, you're not going to eat a big dinner of steak and potatoes while you're watching a football game. When you watch a football game, you're eating pizza and drinking a beer. That's the typical meal of a football game. So it's different settings. When you're with friends, it's different than when you're in a business setting. So you have to know the difference. But don't be afraid to ask. Number 2, always make sure the conversation is pleasant. You don't want a bad conversation while you're eating, right? You're not going to talk about somebody dying when you're eating, are you? Oh, did you hear about Bill dying a while ago? No. Pleasant conversation. That's the main idea of the dinner. Number 3, not only should you have a pleasant conversation, you should also try to extend the meal. There's times that we will take an hour to eat. Right? In Taiwan, we eat so fast. You get the bendan, and there you go. Right? In America, no, we like to extend the meal. Because it is the time that we relax. Actually, eating in America is very relaxing, right? And I like that. I like that a lot because you can have a good conversation with somebody. Okay? So try to extend the meal. Try to get in the conversation. If you have a group of people talking and you don't say anything, they're going to ask, what's wrong with you? Right? Try to get in on with the conversation. If you can do these three things, you're doing good. You're doing really good. Do you have any questions that you want to ask?
Enjoy the meal, and then will you stick in business? Will you chat this in business?
Okay, it depends on the type of meal. Because sometimes you have a business meal. Okay? A business meal is different than a regular meal. If you and your coworkers are together and you're discussing a plan, then yes, that's okay. And sometimes if you go to a seminar or a conference, they'll have a meal in between. Then it's okay to talk about what you have talked about in the conference. But if it's not a business meal, if it's just like informal, we don't do it very much, unless somebody asks you. Now, at home, it's okay. When I go home, my wife will ask me, how was your day? And then we can talk about what happened during the day. But to talk specific business, it's not proper to do that unless it is a business meeting. And you can do that. Good question. Any other questions?
In Japan, when they enjoy the noodle or the soup, they will make some sound.
Yes.
And then it's meat is dead. It's very delicious.
Yes.
And then in America,
No way.
yes.
No way. If you go, very rude in America. You make as little noise as possible. Very little noise as possible in America. Because you don't want to disturb somebody else. You know? Oh, and there's another thing. You know in Taiwan when you have those things to wash the hands, the hand towels? You know how you go like that and it goes pow! Right? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the hand towel. And, you know, you go pow! Don't do that in America. Okay? Somebody will. Let me tell you what the first thing I did. No lie. No lie. I was in Taiwan 8 years ago. And the first time I went to a restaurant and I heard someone go, pow, I almost jumped to the floor. Because I thought it was a gun. True story. True story. Okay? It scared me that much. And people are looking at me like I'm crazy. So, yeah, never do that. Okay? We try to make as little noise as possible. Yeah. And here's another rule. And I'm bad about doing this. Turn off your cell phone when you're eating. It is very rude to interrupt the meal because of the cell phone. Now, what you can do is if you are expecting a very important call, something that is an emergency, then it's okay. But you make sure the people you're with understand that. Okay? I even do this in my class. I don't like to have my cell phone on. If it's on vibrate, you know, so it doesn't make any noise. But I hate to have my cell phone on anyway. But sometimes I'm expecting a very important phone call. And so I will tell the class that I may have to step out for a minute because I'm expecting a very important phone call. They understand that. But if at all possible, turn it off. And we have a habit in Taiwan of putting the cell phone on the table. Don't do that either. Okay? You don't put anything on the table except the plates and the silverware and the glasses and the food. Everything else should be out. Yeah. Any other questions? Good. Have all you want. No problem.
In Taiwan or in some of our Asia, we have a lot of different food. But in America, why not just fried food, right? Fried food.
Just fried food? And actually, we have more than fried food. You're looking at America through McDonald's and KFC, right? No, we have a lot more. We have a very wide diversity. Actually, you can find any kind of food in the world you can find in America. You name it. Japanese, Russian, Italian, you name it. We have it. French, we've got it. Why? Because America is a country of immigrants. You can find every conceivable race in America. And they bring their culture and they bring their cuisine, their food to America. And so, you know, in my hometown is very small. My hometown has 20,000 people. Irvine Red, that's it. But you can find a French restaurant, Italian restaurant, 3 Chinese restaurants, a Japanese restaurant, and a Russian restaurant. In a town of 20,000 people. So I mean, we have all different kinds of food. But where I'm from, we have a lot of fried food. I live in the South. You know, which leads me to another question. Do you know 4th of July, right? Do you know the holiday, 4th of July? That's America's birthday. Okay? And that is our barbecue day. Okay? Where I'm from, I mean, I can't cook. My wife will tell you, I cannot cook at all. I can burn water. I mean, that's how bad I am. Okay? But I can barbecue. I mean, I can barbecue. Because where I'm from, you learn to barbecue when you're very young. That's what we do. The 4th of July is a barbecue. Now, a barbecue is different than any other food. Okay? Because barbecue is actually finger food. You can actually use your fingers to eat barbecue, whether it's ribs, chicken, hamburger, whatever it is. Every other type of food, you use a fork or a spoon, right? But it is really proper to use your fingers during barbecue. So I like barbecue because I go, so good. But 4th of July is a quite different holiday than any other holiday because it's very festive. It's very, it's not like Christmas and Thanksgiving where it's very serious. 4th of July is very fun. You have the fireworks, you know, you have the picnics, the barbecue, you know, you got baseball games, you know, it's very fun. It's a very fun kind of atmosphere. So the food is different too. I like it. I won't be there this year. I miss my daddy's barbecue. Good question. Any others?
What kind of Taiwanese snack do you like most?
Taiwanese snack that I like? No. I hate chou tofu. I hate it. Wa tao yan. Huh? Oh, I like durian. I like durian. I don't think so. Not to me. But I hate tofu. I just don't like tofu, period. In America, we don't eat a lot of tofu. Yeah, where I'm from anyway. And seafood. Oh my goodness. Y'all, Taiwanese eat so much seafood, it's unreal. I can't believe how much seafood you eat. Sashimi, sushi, you know, squid, fish. You know. In America, it's a little bit different. And you know, I want to tell you this. In Taiwan, when you eat fish a lot, you have the head and the tail on fish. In America, no way. And my wife, I wish my wife was here. She would explain it to you. I cannot eat a fish that has the head and the tail on it. I can't do it. I can't eat a shrimp that has the head on it. I love shrimp. I love shrimp. But my wife has to peel it for me. I can't do it. I can't snap the head off. I cannot do it. Because in America, we don't eat food that still has the head on it. And to us, it's revolting, I guess is the best way to say it. You know, and so I see people in Taiwan, it amazes me. They can put the fish head in their mouth, and then it comes out all boned. I'm like, whoa, that's an art. You know? So there's a big culture difference there, a big culture difference in the food when it comes to seafood. But I can eat sashimi, sushi, no problem. Shrimp that has no head, no problem. Fish that doesn't have I love salmon. I love to eat salmon, but I cannot eat a fish with a head and a tail. In America, we don't eat like that. Yeah, good. Any other questions? This is good. When to leave? That's a good question. When do you know when it's time to leave? Here's the easy answer. The easy answer is when the host is ready to leave. The host is usually the first one there, and the host is usually the last one there. Now, girls, I'm about to make you a little bit upset. If you are the host, you should pay. Whether you are a girl or a boy. If you invite someone to eat, you are responsible to pay the bill. You don't say, hey, come on, come let's have lunch. And then you say, oh, you need to pay. No. Even if you're a girl and you ask the boy to go out to eat, you have to pay. It was interesting because a couple of months ago I celebrated my wedding anniversary with my wife. And someone asked me, teacher, what are you going to do with your wife? I said, my wife will take me out to eat. They said, wait a minute. You're the man. You're supposed to take your wife out to eat, not your wife take you out to eat. I said, I can't take my wife out to eat. She has to take me out. The student said, why? I said, simple. She has all the money. You get the point. So if you don't have the money, don't take someone out to eat. Now in Taiwan, it's quite interesting. I see people at the cash register actually fighting who's going to pay the bill. In America, it wouldn't do that. In America, someone says, I'll pay. I'll go, okay. I won't fight you. You want to pay? Go right ahead. Right? So if you invite someone out, you should pay. You should not leave until it's time for everyone to leave, unless you have an emergency. And of course, if you have an emergency, you let them know ahead of time. I have to leave at 7 o'clock. I have a class. I'm sorry, whatever. But you let them know ahead of time. It is very rude just to get up and leave. Oh, well, I gotta go now. Okay? But in Taiwan, it's a normal thing to do. You have a different culture there. Very cool. Any other questions? Oh yes, one more. I've got to say this. In America, we do not say, I'm going to the toilet. I mean, you may laugh, it's true. It's true. In America, we never say, I'm going to the toilet. We say, I'm going to the bathroom or to the restroom. Because when you say the word toilet, the first thing America thinks is da bien. And you don't want to think about da bien when you eat, now do you? Seriously. So please, if you're eating with an American, say, I'm going to the bathroom or the restroom. Do not say, I'm going to the toilet. Thank you. All right. Or I'll think of chow tofu. Any other questions? This is good. Any other questions? Interesting. Yes. The toothpick. Yes. We use a toothpick. Go like this. But we try to use we use a toothpick, but we hide ourselves. Yeah, we use a toothpick. Yeah. Now that's an interesting question too. What do you do if there's something in your mouth that you don't want to eat? Do you just go? Of course not. Of course not. There's several ways to do it in America. The correct way to do it is, however it came into your mouth is how it goes out of your mouth. Example, if you eat something by a fork, then if it's too tough or it's too much, you take it out by a fork. Put it to the top of your tongue and you take it out by a fork. If you do it by a toothpick, then it goes out by a toothpick. The only exception to that is fish, because most of the time the fish bowls are very small, so it is okay to take your finger and take out the bone because it's so small. If it's a really big thing, then you take the napkin and go like this and take it out that way so nobody can see it. But most of the time we use a fork or something to take it back out. Yeah. But we use a toothpick too. Good question. Yeah. But if it's stuck, if it's really stuck, and you try to do the toothpick and you can't get it out, then you can excuse yourself and go to the bathroom and take it out. But you don't do it at the table. Yeah. Good question. Any others? Any others? And I was going to say a while ago, just like 4th of July, every holiday, well, almost every holiday, have their own meal. Okay, example, we just had a holiday yesterday, right? And you eat the, Zhongji, right? Or whatever. Okay, it's a little square thing. It's a special food for the special occasion. Same thing in America. Thanksgiving, we usually eat, what do we eat for Thanksgiving, do you know? Turkey. And? Salad? Huh? Two main things is turkey and pumpkin pie. Ooh, I love pumpkin pie. I'm getting hungry thinking about pumpkin pie. Okay? Christmas is usually a ham or a turkey. Okay? 4th of July, barbecue. New Year's Day, we have hog jows and black-eyed peas. Wonderful. So each holiday has a different meal to it. Now Mother's Day and Father's Day is a little bit different. Mother's Day is all for Mama, obviously. And most of the time in America, what we do for our Mama is, first of all, we would let her eat breakfast in bed. Mamas love to do that on Mother's Day. And then we would take our Mama out to eat at a restaurant or something like that. And we shower our mom with praise and say how wonderful she is, give her a card or whatever. Father's Day is almost the same, but it seems like Father's Day is not as important as Mother's Day. And I don't know why, but that seems to be the case. Even in Taiwan, you have Father's Day on Ba Ba, right? Ba Yue Ba Hao. And that could be any day of the week. Monday, Tuesday, whatever. Mother's Day is always on Sunday. In America, Father's Day is in June. Matter of fact, in 2 weeks will be Father's Day in America. I like that. I like the fact that I'm in Taiwan, but I'm American. I get 2 Father's Day. So I'm very happy. But to me, it's Mother's Day is more important than Father's Day. I don't know why, but that's the way it is. And for Father's Day, you take your father out to eat, or most of the time on Father's Day, you do something with the father that he likes to do, like go watch a baseball game, or go hunting, or do something that he likes to do, go fishing. Where Mother's Day is more of an eating style. Father's Day is not so much. Good. Any other questions?
I know something interesting about Halloween in America.
Okay, Halloween. Halloween is Candy Day. Candy Day. Children love to get the candy, eat the candy. But for an adult, Halloween is the party day. We will go to parties, have costumes. The food is just like a regular party, cakes, cookies, things like that. There's not really a special meal for Thanksgiving. Yeah. But you have the haunted houses as well, the ghosts, the vampires. It's kind of cool. But it's Candy Day. Kids love it because they get lots and lots and lots and lots of candy. Yeah. They're like, and it's what we call trick or treat. You ever heard of it? Trick or treat? Trick or treat, kiss my feet, give me something good to eat. Yeah. And they go from door to door, knock on the door, and trick or treat, and they give them candy or something. But Taiwan, you don't do that, and for good reason. I can imagine all the kids on the street. You know, there'll be a lot of accidents.
What kind of costumes you ever wore?
Me, personally, or well, it goes Superman, Batman, anything. Vampire, Bill Clinton, George Bush, whatever. Any kind of costume you can think of, you could be. Yeah. There's no set. Angels, princess, kings, whatever you want. Makeup, on the makeup. It's the only day of the year that boys can wear makeup and no one thinks they're a girl. You know, it's okay. Good question. Any others?
What do you put inside the turkey when you prepare for the turkey meal?
Oh, what do you put inside? It's what we call stuffing.
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 What is that?
Stuffing. Stuffing is like bread. You have bread. You have nutmeg. You have, oh come on, I watch my mom do it all the time. 2 types of bread. You have cornbread, regular bread, nutmeg, milk, eggs, flour. You can put carrots, celery, and then you mix all that together, and you just stuff it in. It's called dressing or stuffing. Turkey and dressing is so good. My favorite meal is what we call chicken and dumplings. And you don't find it all over America. It's predominantly where I live in the south of America. Chicken and dumplings is exactly what it is, chicken and dumplings. It's a soup. You put the whole chicken inside, and you boil it. And then you take flour and make a dumpling, and put it inside. And you have chicken and dumplings. So good. Yeah. But in Taiwan, you like to put vegetables in it.
So, do you have any special prayers on the Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah, you
You will have the family all together.
right, families all together, and you go one by one. You say what you're thankful for the year, something good that's happened, and then you know, what we used to do in our family is not only do you say something that you're thankful for, but you would also say something about your brother or your sister beside you. You know, like if my brother was here, I would say something nice to him. To say, I thank you for being my brother or whatever, something he has done for me. And then he would say something about the brother next to him. And we go around the table. But to tell you the truth, Thanksgiving in America is more than just Thanksgiving. It's more than just the holiday. Honestly, it's a big football game day too. And so we will eat and then watch a football game together. But my house is kind of interesting because, like I said, I have 13 brothers and sisters. And it seems like we all have a different team. And so sometimes we get in a fight. So. Yeah, but it's a very good family day, that and Christmas, because you really are thankful for the family that you have. And in some ways it's kind of sad too, because not all the family can come. You know, as I said, sometimes it's kind of hard. Good question.
Excuse me. Now, what is the hardest sports in America?
The hottest?
Hardest? Yeah, in England, they like football. And then in America, what is
American football.
American football?
American football.
Now it's the hardest.
Hmm?
Now it's very popular.
Oh, it is the most popular sport in America. American football.
Let's see what I'm
Baseball would be number 2, basketball would be number 3. But American football is number 1. And it just happened about 5-6 years ago that football overtook baseball. For 100 years, baseball had been the number 1 sport in America. For over 100 years. And then American football, just about 5 years ago, replaced it. So now American football is number 1. Yeah, I love American football. To me, it's a great sport. Yeah, well, yeah, it is kind of dangerous. But if you think about how many games are played every Friday night, every Saturday night, every Sunday night, every Monday night, if you think of how many games are played, thousands upon thousands of games are played every week. The chance of getting hurt is very small when you look at it from that context. But what you see on TV is people getting hurt. But that brings up an interesting point about eating, because you eat at the football game, or the baseball game, or the football game, whatever. And the food you eat is so fast, like the hamburgers, the hot dogs, the cheeseburgers, the potato chips, the nacho chips, the Coca-Cola, whatever. One thing that I try to do is try to avoid the alcohol. Really, it is honestly in America, when we go out to eat, most of the time we don't order alcohol when we go out to eat. Now, if we're eating at home, that'd be okay. But in Taiwan, I've noticed a lot of times when you go out to eat, a lot of people be drinking the pijo or the gallion, whatever, and then they get loud. And in America, that's very rude. So if you drink outside, you have to be very careful in the setting in America. And most of the time it's wine. Unless you go to like a sports bar. If you go to a sports bar or a sports grill, then it's okay to drink beer when you eat because it's a sports bar. But at a restaurant, it's more customary for wine rather than beer. But most of the time we do that at home. And also, if you smoke, don't smoke when you eat. Most people hate that. And now most restaurants are non-smoking areas. Good question. Any others? Yes.
In the restaurants, after eating, the waitress or waiter will give you the customer the fortune cookie. Inside the fortune cookie have the
fortune cookie. Okay.
Do you believe in that?
Actually, the fortune cookie, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, every time you eat, you get a fortune cookie. And inside, you break open the cookie and they'll tell you a fortune. And then on the back, it'll have lottery numbers, so you can pick. But the fortune is, it's kind of funny because it'd be like, one of the fortune would be, today you will meet an interesting person. Well, come on, that doesn't tell you much, right? But sometimes they get very specific. Today you will meet the love of your life. But it's interesting that in Taiwan and in America it's a little bit different when it comes to the dessert and so forth. In America, we don't usually have the dessert included in the meal. It's usually something separate. But in Taiwan, you usually get drink, dessert, everything together. And in America, you get free refills, which I love that. If you are drinking a Coke or tea, whenever you finish, they will give you a free glass. You don't have to order another glass of tea or another glass of Coke. You get it for free. It's part of the meal. In Taiwan, if you want, you have to order a new one, right? You pay an extra 30, 40 a tea. I don't like that, unless it's coffee. But yeah, it's different. And the desserts are a little bit different too. You eat a lot more fruits than we do. In America, we eat cake or pie for dessert. Most of your dessert has to be fruit or some kind of pudding, like green tea pudding with red bean. Interesting dessert, to say the least. Good question. Any others?
In America, what symbolized lucky? What symbolized unlucky?
Lucky? Lucky. In terms of food or in terms of anything? Because in food, if you eat the black-eyed peas and the holidays on the New Year's Day, that's supposed to bring you good luck throughout the whole year. The black-eyed peas. It's like a little bean, and you boil them and you eat them. Day, that's supposed to bring you good luck throughout the whole year. But what symbolizes good luck would be like a rabbit's foot or a four-leaf clover, because they're so hard to find. So if you have a four-leaf clover, that's supposed to bring you good luck. A horseshoe is supposed to bring you good luck. But in eating, the only thing I can think of would be the black-eyed peas on New Year's Day. Yeah. Interesting. Good. Any other questions? Let me ask you a question. If you are here and you don't like something, or let me rephrase the question. Let's say you order a steak, okay? You order a meal pie, you order a steak. You order it to be well done. It comes back and it's medium well done. What do you do? Do you understand the question? And you order pepper sauce, but they give you mushroom sauce. What do you do?
Ask the waitress to give me another one.
Okay, you would ask to change. Would everybody ask to change? Or would you eat it? Who would not add? Would you eat it? No. Who would eat it? Anybody? You would eat it. Okay? Most of the people in Taiwan would not say anything. I have noticed time and time again, most of the Taiwanese, if they would just eat it because they don't want to be embarrassed. That's not American. In America, excuse me, I ordered well done. This is not well done. And they'll take it back and they'll cook it again.
Maybe you should say whether they will ask, because when they ask the waitress, they talk in Chinese. We will ask them to change it.
Right.
But suppose you ask students here, so when they go to the United States, maybe they have a problem in speaking English. They won't ask and just go ahead and eat.
Well, I would, if it for me, I would just say, excuse me, I ordered well done. This is medium well. Could you please take it back? Or, this is not what I ordered. But my wife, I think in this regard, she's more American than Taiwanese, because she will complain now. And sometimes her mother will get upset with her because she does complain. But that's what we're doing in America. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. They expect you to do it. Okay? And I'm being very honest there. If you don't do it, Americans will look at you kind of strangely. That's not what you ordered. Because in America, we believe you get what you pay for. And you should get what you pay for. So if you order one thing and you don't get it, it's your right to complain about it. Where in Taiwan, you're like, I don't want to cause a scene. I've got, very quickly, a story about a friend of mine. He does it all the time. He's a true American. We went to a restaurant and he ordered a steak. And the steak was about this big. I mean, it was a big one. Cost like 700 NT. Okay? 700 NT. I mean, it was a big steak. And he ordered it well done, and it came back medium well. And he complained. He said, excuse me, I ordered well done. Could I please? And they said, oh, sure, no problem. We're sorry, sir. They realize it's their mistake. It comes back, and the steak went from here to here. I mean, almost half the size is gone. And my friend said, excuse me, what happened to the other half? At this point, my friend is really, really angry because we have waited 40 minutes to eat because they have gotten it wrong twice. And so he said, what can I do? What can I do here? You have messed up twice. And so the restaurant gave him the food for free. You can ask for that, especially if they keep messing it up. Now, if they mess up one time, it's impolite to say, well, I want it for free. But in his case, half the food was gone. So why should he pay for half of the food that he does not get? Right? So he had every right to ask for the free meal, and he got it for free. So, and that's America. In America, business number one, the customer is always right. Have you ever heard that?
One occasion that happened several years ago, so in Silver Dollar City in Missouri, and I was with my friends, and actually the waitress was quite slow, and we waited for a long time. And of course, the other tables that were Americans, they also found that situation.
Right.
So after meals, we found that the table didn't pay them any tip, so we just copied them.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Is that right?
Silver Dollar City, Branson, Missouri.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I live in Arkansas,
Oh.
so I know exactly where you were at.
Yeah.
But I live on the other side of, I live near St. Louis, the St. Louis area. You were closer to Kansas City. But yeah, that's exactly right. In Taiwan, you don't have tips. In America, we do. And a tip, they say you should give 10 to 15% of the bill. That's not necessarily true. If you have bad service, you don't tip. I give you an example of not only that example. I tell you what we did. We went to, it was a Pizza Hut. We went to a Pizza Hut. And the waitress came in, and she took the pizza, and she just, right on the table. She just didn't put it down, she just kind of like threw it down, And you could tell she was angry. She was not in a good mood. And, they take your glass, they refill your glass for you. We had to get our own drinks. She never came back to the table after she put the pizza down. She never came back down to the table. So what we did is we just wrote a little note on a card. They have these little suggestion cards. We took one of them. And we filled it out. I mean, I was very angry. And I thought, the waitress with the red head has an attitude problem. She should keep her problems at home and not at work. I didn't put it on the table, because if I would have put it on the table, then she could have read it and threw it away. I went and put it and gave it to the manager. I said, you might want to read this. And so he read it in front of me. And it was funny what he told me. He said, you are the third person who have said the same thing within the last hour. Needless to say, she was fired. She was fired because of bad service. Who wants to go to a restaurant when you get bad service?
If I don't like the service or the order is wrong for me, can I ask for my money back? Or
Yes.
when I buy a new television and after 3 days it's out of order, then can I ask my money back?
Definitely. You can ask your money back. Now, most of the time, what a restaurant will do, most of the time the restaurant won't give you your money back, but they'll give you the meal for free. Or, in my case, I ate somewhere, and that night I went home and I got really sick, and I threw up all night long. And it happened right after I ate at the restaurant. I called the restaurant and I told them, I said, look, I've been throwing up all night, and I was feeling good until I ate at your establishment, at your restaurant. They said, well, sir, you bring in your receipt, and we will give you your next meal for free. Because they know that if I'm not a happy customer, then I can tell other people not to go there. Right? Remember, the customer is always right. Always right. And so I took in there, I got my free meal. And the second time was okay. And I don't know what it was, but something that I ate made me sick. So,
They just allowed you to change.
yeah, I didn't press the issue, because either I get my money back or I get a free meal. It's the same thing, right? Either way, I don't lose money. Right? I get two for the price of one. Either way, right? Was it time? Oh dear, yes it is. All right. Well, I gotta go with that class at 7:30. So, but I want to say thank you. I appreciate you letting me come. come and talk to you. And bye.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a big hand because today he told us so much about American traditions or some kind of custom. Next time we should pay our team wiser, okay? Not just advertise 50%, 20%. Thank you very much. Thank you. 谢谢。那谢谢各位同学来参加哈，以后因为社会一连串办一些东西，有机会的话，希望因为社会各位同学都来参加，有这么茁壮的话，以后呢会有更多的外国人学生同学呢要有这个默契，好的资讯分享，大家来听啊。好，我们谢谢大家，谢谢。
你要去想，为什么你这个时候会有痘痘的压力、痘痘的问题呢？因为你还年轻嘛，你知道吗？好 ，OK， 我们现在来测试另外一个部分哈。其实我这边资料里面有谈到说，压力背后其实有一些东西，例如说，根据你们这样统计你们的资料大家看一下，你们其实这个压力的背后大概有一些，例如说某一些失败的因素，例如说有人认为，我期中考没有考好，所以因为你的期中考的失败，会导致你的对期末考试整个学期的压力哈。有些是来自于你的生活步调的一些变化，我知道一些同学是，例如说，你现在刚才很多是1年级的。突然间你要去适应，有些人说第一次离家，然后我要到一个陌生的地方啊。我记得我第一次去念大学的时候，很好玩，我自己一个人，一个男孩子只身从高雄，我家在高雄然后坐火车到台北去读书举步无亲。那时候的南部跟北部，其实我第一次离家离这么远第一次离家离这么远。那第一个人离家这么远，大概是第一次，心里面其实的确是很紧张而且现在听起来有时候很好笑，知道吗？你们有没有从北部下来我们学校念书的同学举手一下？从北部下来的 ，OK， 好，请放下来。有没有人告诉你说南部会冷或怎么样子，然后你要带棉被的？不会吧？我那时候很好玩，听说北部很冷，因为开学的时候是9月份嘛，对不对？接下去就是快到秋冬嘛，类似这样子你原来你知对，就是。要摆 pose 吗？不要给我压力好不好？摆最帅的很难摆好不好 ？OK， 其实我每个角度都帅这个部分最帅那我一个人很好玩，我带一个棉被，坐火车到台北去读书。我现在想起来真的很爽很爽。但是你们现在不会干这种事情，会想说台北物价很贵，什么类似这样子，有一个压力在，所以我会做出一件很好笑的事情。那想说到台北买，倒不如家里有一些剩的棉被带回去，再去这样子。可是没想到造成另外一个压力，什么压力？全火车不知道多少人坐火车，但是只有一个人带棉被。就觉得，然后我那时候是有学长学姐来接我，就是专车全部来火车站接我，就看到一个人拿个大人我学姐都不好意思笑我那这些其实一个很好笑的一些过程，但是我觉得它来自于某一些东西，你可能比如说对环境不认知。你我从高雄到台北去读书，我的压力在哪里？在台北我是陌生的。如果你本来就住屏东，来念我们学校，大概不会有什么压力。